All right, guys. Well, I'm just gonna make this other video now to just try to tie some things up, loose ends type deal. First of all, please like, subscribe, and share. If you have any questions, again, I'm gonna put my I'm gonna go ahead and put my. I'm sorry, I want to put that on do not disturb so it doesn't do that obnoxious beep in the middle of it. I want to put my email address down in the comments below. Again, just put Karma Collector in the what the hell is it called? The subject line. Put that in the subject line. That way, when I go in there, that I'll just get the ones that are for me. Okay. Um, so I just want to hit on some things here, and clear some things up. Again, please just ask questions for me to clarify, even in the comments if you don't mind other people seeing them. All right. Okay. All right. Now, I want to talk about this real quick. When I tell you about, I know she made a deal, and I know she sacrificed her mother. I've got all this information from all these people, is why. Number one. But there's more than that, guys. I also know that she's affiliated with a bunch of people that are in the occult. I also know that Dee Dee was actually involved with them. I'm not saying she was a Dee to Luciferian because she wasn't wealthy and all that, and she didn't have that. But she was adjacent. I discussed adjacent people before. She worked with them in some things. Okay? So this is deep rooted. And I don't know that Rod and them aren't in it either prior to her being in it. And we'll talk about that later, Rob and me, not me, I'm sorry, Christy, Rod and Christy's role, right? I don't know that they weren't involved prior. I don't know that. I do know that turns out Dee Dee has occult roots and she was into some witchcraft too and stuff, guys. There's a reason that they got flown out of Katrina like that and sent there where they were sent to. But that's another video or two also. I'm sorry, guys. But I want to talk about this. Well, I come to the conclusion, and for sure I know, that she did trade her soul for and sacrifice her mother for fame and fortune. I know that. Number one, what they want that house for, I understand and I know that. The fact that everyone's telling me this shit and it matches what happened with the crime scene, it all matches. All the symbolism she does, all the shit with the dates she does, and the fact that all this shit was handed to her. Okay, all the shit when she got out, 10 million TikTok people handed to her. Those weren't people that organically just signed up to follow her because, oh God, Gypsy Rose is getting out. Not 10 million people. Those are bot farms. Those were paid for her. Those were given to her. Instagram too. The book deal lined up for her. The mainstream media tour lined up for her. Kim Kardashian, Jeffree Star, both Luciferians, lined up for her. The documentaries and shit lined up for her. All of the TV show, all lined up for her. That's what they do. Right? This is why we know all of these things together, that beyond a shadow of a doubt, that's what this is, and it's nothing else. She sacrificed her mother in exchange. There's no other rhyme or reason this dumb bitch who has zero talent, zero likability, has nothing going for her. She's not beautiful. She's not glamorous. She's not funny. She's not smart. She's not intelligent. She's not from a wealthy, powerful family. There's no rhyme or reason for her to be handed all this shit simply because she killed her mother and played abuse. None. That is why. Okay? That is why. Also, guys, this evidence. This is Greene County, Missouri. It is not a little podunk town. It is Springfield. It is one of the bigger cities in Missouri. It's not a podunk town. There's no way this police work would have been this sloppy normally. There's no way. This was a cover-up. This was a straight cover-up, and they were all the people that were told to do it were in on it. We'll get to that. Okay, I just want to show you that there's no way that this should have happened this way. She hired a hitman, Nick, to take away one of her family members. Of course, she should have got life and he would have got the plea deal. In any other situation that would happen, that's more evidence that this is what this was. This was a deal, and they cover you. Okay? They help you with the law right away. Of course they do. especially if you did it during your fucking sacrifice. So this is what would have happened, guys. Let's just go this way. Okay. Immediately after, okay, the Facebook post. Remember the Facebook post? This is after the night of sacrifice. After Gypsy did the deal, she was supposed to contact David somehow or get with him. Again, I don't know how that worked exactly. At that point, something happened where now she's gone to Wisconsin or whatever. He's like, do the Facebook post. I'm sure he put her up to that. I don't think she's smart enough. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. But the point of the Facebook post was for them to get the IP address and transfer and locate where they were and come there. Exactly what happened. And then she comes up with this cockamamie thing when they ask her, oh, because I wanted them to find her and make sure Mama got a proper burial. Now, we know what she did to her mother and why. Okay? But that being said, we also know that this motherfucker could give two Alabama flying squirrel fucks about her mother's burial and them ever finding her. And she knew goddamn well they didn't have the money to bury her anyway, and it would have been a fucking cremation, just like it was. She knew that. She's a manipulative idiot. She did that for a reason. It was to get them there. Why did she mail the knife back there, guys? Let's talk about that. Why did she mail the knife back there and hide it in the closet? She had something up her sleeve, right? Was she supposed to go to the police station and say, oh, well, the evidence was too heavy, guys. The police had to go the way that they went. And we're going to do a whole thing with the police interviews in the next video. Okay? And so the knife mailed back, we know that was some kind of way to set him up and all that. We know that, right? How about, let's cover this. The medical examiner was, of course, paid to do what they were supposed to do, right? I know that because listen to me. Any medical examiner worth their salt, not even done with their medical examiner fucking residency as a pathologist, out of medical school, just in the pathology residency, they already would have learned that those 13 stab wounds and carving on her fucking back, she was still alive when that was done because it was a torture ritual, which means when they were doing it and when they were done, immediately, because she was still alive, platelets and all other kind of things were coming in, clotting factor out there to start trying to heal it. And they know, and this would have continued, this process would have continued until after they slit her throat when she died, and even a little bit after that. And they could tell by microscopic, what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't, examination, which they would have done. They would be able to tell how far along in the healing process this became before it was interrupted. And then they would know that the slit in the throat, which is what took her out, period, they could tell by the tissue around there how long that was done approximately after this other shit was done. And then they know when Nick came at least an hour or an hour and a half post-mortem and then stabs her in the back 4 times, that those were done post-mortem. They were done after the throat was slashed, and which was done before, or the throat was slashed, which was done, after the carving on her back in the torture ritual. And anyone in any kind of fucking pathology school would have figured that shit out even on their own. And this is not a podunk tout. That they assign the medical examiner that is either adjacent or a Luciferian themselves, and they were told what to do. Fix this shit just to make it look like he came in and stabbed her and took it out, and that's that. Take the onus off of her and put it on this dude, however you need to do it. Okay, the medical examiner was totally in on it. That's why they assigned them. But that will be in part of the police cover-up by itself video. But they knew that. 100% they knew that. They knew he didn't kill him or take him out, and they knew it was way after that. Period. How do they just overlook that evidence? It's absolutely ridiculous. The one bus ticket. She only bought the one bus ticket because she knew neither one of them are going to leave town. But she couldn't make him suspicious. Like, well, baby, why aren't you buying us bus tickets back? The plan is we escape back, right? So she just bought the one to shut him up, and then now the plan failed. She didn't kill him like she was supposed to, so she got to buy it. They have to wait now and buy the second one. Okay, let's see. So I'm pretty sure that David Blanchard told her to fucking do that Facebook post. But if there's any correspondence between those two, phone calls or texts, we'll never learn of that. That's part of going to be swept under the rug because they know David's in on it. You can tell by David's police interview. Go watch it on Trixie Lane. I'll have to cover that and show you what's happening in there, the codes between them. Remember, the police and David Blanchard know that all interrogations in America now are videotaped with sound. Always. Because too many people say that the police roughed them up in there and they've coerced confessions and shit out of them. Not anymore because everyone's going to see and hear it. They do it standard everywhere. You have to. They have to do it. And everyone knows that going in there. I will show you how they taught code. I will show you how the detective that was interrogating Gypsy Rose at first had to just get her to admit it, and then how he came to her defense and turned it all the way around and tried to lead her right into saying he did it. I'll go through that with you, okay? This was a cover-up from the jump. David Blanchard then would either went to his guy or Gypsy said, listen, we're on our way back to Wisconsin, da-da-da-da-da. At that point, she probably told him, he probably instructed her something. I don't know what. Whatever they told her. At the police station, she was trying to play dumb like nothing happened. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, we just came up here. Duh. You know, and then I don't know what that was supposed to happen with that. I can't get in her mind, and I don't know the conversation between them. I think it was going to be something like, he kidnapped me, made me come here, and that knife, see that knife with his fingerprints is all in his closet because that's who he killed my mom with. Or I don't know what was going to happen. But that part backfired. But they knew the evidence was too strong, so they knew they had to just get her in it and that she admitted to it. But he did it. He went crazy. Remember the detective? I know, you're doing so good, Gypsy, now that you told. First he was hard-ass with her. Then he got it out of her. I wouldn't be surprised. No, they wouldn't have told her that because they wanted her not to act. They wanted her to be for real. You know, that scratch that. But he first was hard on her. And then as soon as she said, okay, well, then it was like, okay, baby, you're doing so good. You're doing so good, Gypsy. Tell me. I know, baby. He was too strong, huh? You couldn't stop him. You couldn't stop him, could you? I know, Gypsy. Go back and watch this shit. That's the moment he turned. And now it's going to help her because the animal Nick did it. When this bitch is the one that did it. And put it on this dude. This was a big grand scheme and a big grand plan. And the minute they found out the shit went wrong, they set into motion. Once they called their fucking, once David Blanchard got with his go-to person and said that, oh, it's all fucked up, they immediately got with Greene County. Remember, they had to send detectives to Wisconsin first. Remember, they had to extradite him back and all that. They had time and stuff, guys. Think about it. I got to stop here, and I'll see you in the next video.